cool.
Well,
And of course,
we'll
sorry, she still uses her size all the time.
yeah. Let's take a look at her just general sort of fight style, and Stephanie can explain it. Then after that, we can kind of discuss that with Derek as well.
Sure.
So you can hear the claws. She has a couple moves that use it. This is one of her fast mid strings, and it has a couple options. The second one is a crushing blow if she ends a combo with more than 8 hits, which is pretty easy to do for a ball roll. Then she also has pretty much the core to her mix-up is this really quick overhead. It has great range, it's safe, it's fast, it's awesome. She does not have like a really like awesome low safe launcher, so she has to commit or just do a low damage after like a sweep. But I think that totally fits your play style. Is you have to be the type of player that's willing to just do a low into the ball roll and just deal low and not worry if they're going to block it. This low here 4-2 has a crushing blow if it's a counter hit, and then she gets a combo, which again goes into kind of a higher risk thing, but good damage if it hits. This is her 4-4, which I wanted to show because I think it's one of her better like mid attacks because it's really easy to hit confirm. And the last thing I wanted to show was her throws because she has a similar crushing blow to Rambo, where if it's been 10 seconds without jumping or getting hit, she will bite them in the neck, and it's very, very gross and nasty. But again, you're Mileena, so you haven't jumped in 10 seconds. That's a tall order, so I think you deserve to eat their throat.
Derek will never get that crushing blow. You'll never get it.
Never.
No, probably
It'll never happen.
But
I
yeah,
love
the
yeah,
base.
go ahead.
I was gonna say the base of her is quick up close attacks and then closing in gaps with I believe it's her away 1 or away 2 where she does that lunge. So that just puts her in place to get right on top of you to either go for the forward 4 or with the away 3, so you can mix up the highs or lows and then go into the ball and combo city.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You know, her weapons, claws and Asai, are not, they're kind of outranged by like Jade's pole and stuff like that. They're not the greatest range in the world, but they're fast. She has mix-ups, good mids. So, you know, kind of mid-range, she has to take a risk to get in. You could like YOLO jump, ball roll, go for one of the slower moves, the back 2. But then once you get in, good damage, good combos, good crushing blows, pretty fast. It's high risk, high reward, which Mileena players, yeah, putting their foot on the pedal and just going all in is exactly what they do.
And no blocking. Who does that?
There's just no reason. Next up, let's take a look at her default special moves.
So this is what I mean by she's kind of the classic Mileena. Side toss is back, really fast. She throws 2 at once and it takes up a ton of space. I think it's a really great projectile. Ball roll is exactly what you'd expect it to be. Super quick, it leads to combos, so she amplifies it. Great whiff punisher. Punishes stuff that's like push back on block, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then the teleport kick. So this has a cool new thing where she can amplify and she goes into a throw and you can choose which direction to throw her, which is pretty cool. You can throw them in the corner, then go for your pressure and you don't have to get in again, or throw them out of the corner if you don't want to deal with that. You have a life lead, whatever. So it's pretty much what you expect. She can zone and she can counter zone really well because it's pretty risky to throw a projectile when she has both teleport and roll.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I can't agree more than that statement. It's classic Mileena.
Yep.
So you're saying, I just want to just reiterate something. When you do the teleport, if you amplify it, it turns into a throw.
Yes.
And you can choose the direction in which you throw them.
Exactly.
Awesome. Super cool.
So I think, sorry, I just to kind of reiterate, I think it's, you just pick her base moves. It's like, this is pretty much the Mileena that, pretty much boilerplate Mileena, how you'd expect her to play. But then her abilities and her variations, I think, are where a lot of the new moves are and new versions of old moves and stuff like that. So you kind of determine which of her play style you want to like focus on, and that's where there's like, all the fresh new stuff, which is pretty cool.
Which we can take a look is we threw in like her classic MK3 combo as well, which is just a good throwback to Mileena.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. It's the size.
Let's take a look.
The double kick, it's awesome.
Let's take a look real quick then at variation 1 of Mileena.
So this one I think is a mobility-based variation. The first thing is she can do her Sai in the air. It's great. She can amplify it to recover faster and get combos. The second thing is she can do the teleport in the air. And this is awesome for like faking out jump ins. And then lastly, she has the low Sai back from MKF, which was one of my favorite projectiles. And it has a unique crushing blow if it goes under a high and you amplify it. So this really makes her mobility better, and then it makes her counter zoning even better because she can jump over a projectile and teleport. She can use the low side to go under highs. It also, you could actually use it for mix-ups too. Like you can mix up her overhead with it, her low side, mid-range, if you wanted to take a risk. So yeah, I think that's kind of, you are happy with the way she plays, you just want better options for getting in or stopping them from keeping you out. And then, you know, that's kind of the way you go. You get to play her up close game because you don't have to worry about their zoning, and you can mix up your jump ins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, like, you can control with her low zoning because you're not going to get out zoned because you're going to low profile a majority of things. And then once you see somebody trying to move to get out of that, you just teleport, land on top of them, and do what Mileena does.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I personally use the low Sai because exactly for that reason. Like, if you try to zone that version, I think you're probably going to have a bad day.
Yeah. Can we real quick go back to something from a little earlier? Just I want just a better explanation for those who may be younger, haven't played it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the UMK3 combo? Which one is
Stephanie,
that?
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just one of her combo strings. It's 2, 3, 3, 4, I think. It just looks pretty much like a new modern day version of one of her classic button combos that you can input in UMK3. It's
Awesome.
a fun Easter egg.
That's great.
I think if you're an old like me, you'll immediately recognize it.
And old, and that's the good thing too about the studio. We have a lot of people in the studio who are locked into how the old games played, who know the lore super well and know how the old games used to play and whatnot. Some of the earlier iterations of Mortal Kombat. So that's awesome to have Easter eggs for all ages of our fans. Super cool. Let's take a look at variation 2.
So variation 2, I think, is the opposite. I think it's a rushdown variation. The first thing is she loses her roll, but she gains this brand new move, the Conum Dash, which I think is pretty awesome. Super quick low, so you can use that in mix-ups. She can go into projectiles. It has an amplify, and it actually has a double amplify. And you can also cancel it. Like you can start to run, hold it down, and then just cancel it and not do the attack and go for a mix-up. And this has a crushing blow. Then she also has a bunch of extra throws at the end of her strings. I think she gets 3 of them. You can see her low gets a new one, and I think this one's definitely the coolest. She gets this grab at the end, and it can actually restand. And then she can get a pretty decent mix-up. And then, lastly, she gains a command grab. This move is freaking awesome looking. How is that not the coolest thing ever? This has a crushing blow for punishing a wake-up roll. Knock them down. They don't want to deal with their mix-ups. Nope, they are definitely going to deal with their mix-ups. And now they're blind.
I love every time we show a new character, there's always a variation that has, not always, 50% of the time, that has like grabs, and I'm like, well, I mean, maybe I could try Mileena. Like, maybe I could do that, because that variation looks right up my alley with all, like we talked about last time, the two-player animations and whatnot. Just looks incredible. Awesome. There.
You stay away from her, pal. You just stay away from
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. All right.
I get it. I'll do it on my own time.
I would call that like basically the more savage, ravenous version of Mileena's variation 2. And it's probably, I would say, probably my favorite as well, because you're just rushing in, command grabs, the combos are flashy, and there's some cool brutalities attached to a couple of them.
Oh, one other thing is the command grab is her armor breaker. And if you use it on armor break, you get the crushing blow. So that's also really good too.
So you don't even need to do the prerequisite if you catch on armor break.
Right. And that also would complement the fact that it's like her rush down 1, you try to break away, you don't want to deal with her stuff, and you get caught.
All right. Excellent. We got that was number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's move on to number 3.
So number 3, I was trying to think of a theme and pretty much came up with it's kind of a cornucopia of more stuff. First thing is she gets this special roll, which does extra damage and actually hops in the air, so she can go over stuff. Then she gets invisibility, which is a ton of fun. I mean, you can imagine, Mileena's already all over the place. You literally can't even see her. Like, I don't know a scenario more obnoxious than that. And then lastly, she gets a brand new move, which is pretty interesting. She slides her sai across the ground, and she can hold it and decide when she's going to lift it up, and then it'll come back down. So the opponent has to guess, are you going to delay it? Are you going to let it go really early? And then it has a crushing blow if it interrupts an opponent. So if they think you're going to delay it, and they try to just attack you out of it, and you didn't delay it, you can go ahead and amplify it. It's going to hit them right in the noggin.
All right. Let's go back real quick to the invisibility, because the invisibility does have some stuff with it too, correct? Like, don't
Yes.
you do less damage, right?
Yes, and it drains stamina. So there are downsides to using it, but I think it's pretty worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And then
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, the amplify sai slide is tracking, right?
Yes, if you just
Yes.
hold it, it will go to the opponent, and then it will know where they are. You don't have to do like a close, medium, or far, or whatever. So if
Right,
they're full,
right.
you do have to hold it for a while, but yeah, it does track to where the opponent is.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think that'll be really cool for setups. Like some of the creative players, I can already see, some of the more creative players than me, like turning it invisible and then doing stuff with it, weird stuff in the corner, all kind of fun stuff like that.
It's hard to
It'd be fun
keep
to
track
see.
of Mileena as it is, and when she's
Yeah.
invisible, it just gets worse.
Right. We showed it earlier, but let's go back again. We're just like re-showing these things so you guys can get a clean view of it. Let's take a look real quickly at her fatal blow, which it's damn near a fatality.
It also, the into attack is pretty awesome because it's got really good range.
And she travels.
Let's take a look.
And, yep. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We have a couple special things to show with Mileena because we know that everyone's really excited to see Mileena. It's been I've been getting tweets all week about Mileena. So we're going to show a brutality. We're also going to show a friendship later too. So you might want to close your eyes if you don't want to be spoiled. But let's quickly show the Mileena brutality.
Your head will adorn my throne.
Speaking of UMK3, there's
This is beautiful again.
brutality. It's top 5 coolest brutality in the game. I can't wait for people to see it.
Okay.
And the
okay.
win pose, classic win pose.
Oh yeah, of course.
Always bringing it back. Let's go and let's take a look at the fatality one more time.
What a cool
So we don't
freeze frame at the end. Like, our cinematics team is awesome.
So great. We don't want to show every fatality day because I know people we're going to mix that up a little bit, but you might see it before launch. We'll see. But we do want to show something. This was Derek. Derek was really into doing this. So we brought together today. We're going to show the first friendship we've shown. So we're going to show Mileena's friendship.
I love it. She cares
They're
so much
ridiculous.
about those bears.
She loves the bears,
Ugh.
and like always, the music for friendships is just, it kills me every single time. Even when I get beat online, somebody friendships me, I'm like, let's hear the song again.
I have
can't
one
get mad
last
at that.
thing about Mileena, by the way.
Okay.
Can't help myself. Lore fans of maybe like Tanya, I can't wait. You guys are gonna have a good day when the game comes out. Mileena's story stuff is awesome.
A little lore treatment for was that her ladder stuff? Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of people have tweeted me. Is Tanya involved in Mileena's story in this game? Oh yeah.
So that's exciting. So that's any last things to talk about Mileena?
This
She's
is the
a ton
best
of
day
fun.
ever.
Best day ever. Okay.
I love her outfits. I think her hairstyle in the like Tarkatan kind of savage outfit is extremely cool.
The side
Her
cut.
voice is awesome. Yeah, her voice in this game. At first, it was like, that's quite different. It's more savage than she's usually portrayed, but I really like it.
Voiced by Kari Walgren, who I tweeted that I did a play with when I was like 14 years old in Kansas. So
That is
just
wild.
it all comes back around. She's awesome. I love Kari.